A very happy morning to our respected speaker, Architect B.R.Ajit sir, and one and all from our fraternity who are here with us today. I hope all of you are keeping yourselves safe and healthy in this difficult time. We are really happy and grateful to our esteemed management, our beloved VP Admin Architect Lokesh Madhivanan sir, and HOD Professor Ashok Kumar sir, our fellow faculty members and my dear students. It's fine enough to show us with such encouragement to have our very own hashtag 2020 on a virtual platform. Welcome to the most awaited day 13 of hashtag 2020 Footprints of Architect series. I am Architect Preetima, Assistant Professor SRMC, and I take immense pleasure in moderating the session for the day. To avoid inconvenience for all of us, I request all the participants to keep your mics and videos switched off throughout the presentation. Participants can use the chat box to ask your questions, and these will be addressed in the end of the session. Thank you. I now request our convener, Architect Lokesh Madhivanan sir, Vice Principal SRMC, to give the opening remarks.
Yes, good morning everyone. Good morning sir, Architect B.R.Ajit sir. Good morning sir, namaskar. And you are a great architect. We have seen your works and it was very fascinating. And thank you for accepting our invite and giving presentation to our seed family and all the participants in this event. This hashtag 2020 is going to be the great session, sir, with your presence. And we are overwhelming, excitement to see your presentation as well, sir. And I'm thanking this moment for giving this moment to our management, our chairman sir, co-chairman sir, director sir, and Dean ENT and Dean KTR for this. They are giving hardest support to us, and thanking you sir, and thanking you once again. And without any delay, I'm just handing over the mic to the moderator. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Architect Professor NSA Ravi, sir, Faculty Coordinator of the session, to deliver the welcome address. Over to you, sir.
Hello, good morning all. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, I take this immense pleasure and privilege to invite Architect B.R.Ajit, a long-term friend of mine, and we are known to each other for over 40 years now. He's always been my guide, guru, and a firm leader. And I've always found him to be a very enterprising and proactive architect, and also an important social figure in Kerala. And I have a great pleasure in inviting him to participate in our Footprints of Architects session. Our Preetima will introduce him, introduce him to the audience. So I just hand over the mic to Preetima ma'am. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm really happy and grateful to introduce our guest speaker, Architect B.R.Ajit sir. A very warm welcome to you, sir. Thank you so much for accepting our invite for Footprint series in hashtag 2020. Born in 1953, Ajit Bhaskar Rajam graduated as an architect from Madras School of Architecture and Planning, specializing in utilization of solar energy in architecture under the auspices of Tata Energy and Research Institute, Pondicherry. He launched his own firm, architectural firm, MS Ajit Architects in Cochin in the year 1978. His current projects include the BJP headquarters at Trivandrum, Qatar Airways office complex at Cochin, TDIT in Trivandrum, various projects of Sri Sankaracharya Sanskrit University, Kaladi, and many more. He is the chairman of Asian School of Architecture and Design Innovation, functioning under ABR Foundation, a trust of which he is managing trustee, which is involved in various service activities, and has also taken up major R&D initiative in cost-effective housing. He was also one of the visiting professor in various architecture colleges in South India. Architect Ajit sir has received a lot of awards, including honorary professor by the Academic Union Oxford at Oxford, UK in 2019. He has also received the award for the most energy efficient and eco-friendly building designer developer by the government of Kerala, and a lot more. We are really happy to have you here, sir. Thank you once again. Over to you, sir.
Great. First of all, thank you very much, Preetima, for your words of introduction. I'm really grateful to you, thankful to you, and most importantly, I am thankful and grateful to SRM University for having me to my this chance here, my opportunity here. And more importantly than all that is, I would like to thank my old good friend, NSA Devi. Doesn't mean that NSA Devi is old. Doesn't make it clear to you. But we spent, we studied almost the same time. It was 2 years, 3 years junior to me. And just when we studied in architecture at STAT, School of Architecture Planning. I passed out in 77, maybe Devi passed out in 79. It was great actually to have him. Actually, I have a lot of memorable occasions which I spent with him, and only because he invited me. Generally, I refrain from participating because I find that it does not become very useful and very often. But he told me, and now last 1 week, what I am seeing, I see people at SRM has done a marvelous job and make it really a great occasion. So I was all the more interested that and impressed that I should be here to be with you. My dear friends, let me just tell you one very important thing here at this point. My connection with architecture, as you can see, started as Ocean in 1977, immediately after passing out. I worked for some time immediately I started at Ocean. Now today I'm supposed to talk to you on beyond net zero. But when I talk about net zero and beyond net zero, I think I need to take you to a small background of what has happened and why we need not only net zero but beyond net zero. And for that, I think I need to go to a little bit of history about entire thing, about the problems, the environment issues faced with our today. Okay. So presently, as already said by Pritima, I am the chairman and director. I started this school called Asadi, Asian School of Architecture and Design Innovations, and we are doing pretty well. This year in the eighth year of our operations here. I would like to show a slide just now. Everybody has seen that person. Everybody knows who is that, not only in India, around the world. Why? I tell you why I'm showing this. See, this is the picture of Mahatma Gandhi, the father of our nation. And what he said, in fact, he could talk about anything in the world. He is one person. He had ideas, he had thinking, he has his own thoughts of any aspects of what's going on in the world. And one word he said, one sentence he said was, the world has enough for everyone's need, but alas, not for everyone's greed. This is an excellent point which he said. See, what happened was, this is what we had talked about 80 years back. But only even at 80 years back, the whole world had listened to him and said, yes, these are the reasons we need to change this world. We need to put a stop. We need to put a sudden break for the way things are going. And the greed will take on no. This is one very important thing you should understand. And that is what Mahatma Gandhi said. And he said, let us sort of control our greed. And this world, everything, this earth, it was so much we had. 250 years back, never we thought that we are going to use that. We are going to have pollution, you are never. So, this is all because of greed. I'll tell you why he said that. The world has enough for everyone's needs, but alas, not for everyone. I would say, and every one of you will also agree with me, that today's situation that you are facing with regard to environment, with regard to world crisis, even with regard to what is happening, the COVID, all these are because of the greed of the man. I would like to go back 250 years back. 250 years back, there was a year of 1760. 1760 was a year supposed to be the start of the Industrial Revolution. You all studied in the school. I'm sure all the students would have studied, all the teachers listening. I have studied in social studies at that time, Industrial Revolution. It was a big chapter on that. We all sort of said that is a great thing about the world, but was it the world? I do not think so. In fact, till that time, every manufacturing was by hand. If I could sort of manufacture, say, 5 to 10 shoes a day by hand, the Industrial Revolution changed the whole thing and they could manufacture 200,000, 2,000 shoes a day. So what happened? All these people who are the businessmen, they found it was such a fantastic profit for them. The investment is same, the labor is same, and labor is still paid, unpaid, underpaid, but he makes big profit. This is what Mahatma Gandhi said about greed. And this is the basis of what is happening. This is the basis of our entire thing, the industrial evolution, change our thinking, change our attitude, and produce so much. Not to meet the need, but to meet the greed. This is what it is. Now, I would like to take you to one of the great man who we see is Sir Alvin Toffler. Alvin Toffler was a great writer, and he wrote a book long time back called Future Shock. Future Shock was one of the maximum sold books. I'm talking about 1970s, same time when I was studying architecture. And this really changed my thinking about the whole world. Because he said, look, the environmental atrocities that are going on and what is going to go happen to our entire world. Only change, only mistake he made was, he said all this is going to happen in 100 years' time. Maybe 2070. But unfortunately, this happened in 20, 30 years. We are now in the midst of that environmental the problem, issues that we are presenting today. In fact, it is his reading his book which prompted me, prompted me 43 years back to do my thesis on solar energy, utilization solar energy application. Nobody knew about it. So I went all the way to Pondicherry, to Tata Energy Research Institute. There was Mr. Chimanlal Gupta there, who gave me all the documents and papers, and I prepared the thesis on it. I still remember, here Mr. N.S.A. Ravi, he created the logo for that, with the solar collector for me during the thesis for me too. In fact, that is what happened. I'm talking about now 43 years back. So I would like to show you some slides to give you the situation that we are facing now. I'm sorry, I have not yet gone into the real fact because it takes some time, because I want to take you through why green buildings and why all these things. Now you see, the deaths from the global warming will double in just 25 years to 300 million people. Because of people just dying simply because of the global warming, simply because of the terrible effects of the environment degradation. This is what is happening. Now you see, the global sea levels could rise more than 20 feet with the lot of ice shelf in Greenland and Antarctica, devastating the coastal areas. See, my city is Cochin. It is on the side of the South Arabian Sea, and you are facing Indian Ocean, the beautiful Marina Beach. All these cities, all the short buildings, all will go under. There is any building, it is below to 3 floors, will go underwater. Once this shells, when the glacier shells subsets of ice on the Greenland and Antarctica, which makes, I'll show you a video after some time, which proves that is happening now. Drones, all these droughts and wildfires. You've seen how many wildfires in Australia, in the United States of America, right in the heart of Hollywood. So many Hollywood actors, they lost their houses on fires, the droughts. All these things put together have really created such a hell. Why is happening? It was not there before. It was not there 100 years back. It was not there 200 years back. Why? All of a sudden it has happened now, just now, last 20, 30 years. It is because of, again, the global warming. More than 1 million species worldwide would be driven to extinction by 2050. Already we know that 30 to 40% of the original our wildlife has gone. You can only see them in photos. Very soon, by 2050, that is just another 30 years from now, another 50, another million species will be out. The world is facing a severe energy crisis. Is some species on the planet getting electricity for only once? I do not know how is it in Chennai now, but I remember when I was studying there, very often there was power. I'm talking about a 40 years back. And in Kerala, we have power with all this water, with all the rain, because of our rains have stopped coming. The droughts have started to earth, there should be water. This is what is this is. I would like to now say something about a very important thing I would like to say. Now, I would like to talk about, we talked about what is most important thing. Earth, we all know, two-thirds of Earth is water. Though two-thirds of the water, not even 2% of that water is edible, can be drunk. So seawater. And making seawater into drinkable water is just impossible because the cost involved, it's energy involved. So nobody talks about sea transport. It is said, I think it has been said again and again and again, and you would have heard it again and again and again, that if there is another war, Cold War, it is not going to be anymore for land, but it's going to be water. This recently Chinese attack, they wanted that massive lake there. The massive lake would have changed the entire situation. So much of water, fresh, beautiful water. Now what I would like to say is about this water. What is happening in the water? Water is diminishing. You don't have any more groundwater. I remember even in Chennai when I studied, there's no water anywhere. So what actually now latest ISRO, the planning they're proposing to send that, this thing to the moon. One of the major equipment on that moon, this thing is traveler, is to understand how much of water you can find in moon. Why? I will not be surprised under 20 years time, the rockets will be going to the moon and transporting tons and megatons of water from the Earth to our world to drink. Because anything else you can live without food, but you cannot live without water. So that is the situation we would like to know about. I would also like to say here, a very important thing here I would like to say here is what happened after. Actually, if you really look at it, you will see that when things started going back, when, as I said, Alvin Toffler's book became very famous and people became aware of what problems our country is facing, that is where in 1992, convention called Kyoto Convention was held under the framework of Convention on Climate Change by United Nations. 84 countries from different parts of the world, including India, participated. It is where people discussed for about 10 days, the scientists, the environmentalists, everybody discussed and found that we are having a big hole. This hole is bringing in the entire heat, and there is a global warming happening. We need to stop. And the sad, after that, so many other things happened. Unfortunately, the biggest country, the country which was moving up maximum of this energy before signed this protocol, they call it a protocol. And later we had the Montreal Protocol in 89, we had the Rio de Janeiro in 92, and also the conducted the recent Copenhagen Convention, for which USA was also talking. All these conventions unanimously agreed there was urgent steps. Now I would like to take you back again, many years back. I'm sure that many of you, at least some of you, would have heard about this great loss of a thinker by name J. Krishnamurti. J. Krishnamurti, one of his writers, he had made a comment several 78 years back. He said, at some time, several billions years back, billions back, the whole world took a wrong direction. What is the wrong direction? The whole world took a wrong direction, and today the people are facing problems. Until that time, when the Indian society, Indian world took the wrong direction. Like for example, if you're going on a road, say, imagine you take the wrong direction, probably you come into a huge water body and you get into your water, you get sunk there, something like that. So what he said was the wrong direction. What said was that entire world decided or started changing to possessionism. Until that time there was no possession. People used to go from one place, do some cultivation, go stay this thing, and then go like that. So it is this possessiveness which the mankind adopted slowly, which created all the problems, all the wars and everything. Similarly, as I said, in the Industrial Revolution, our entire earth, entire society is in the wrong direction to come to this problem. Now I would like to say, why are we talking so much? Why are the architects talking so much? Is there a need for us to talk so much? All these pollutions are created by industries, all these pollutions created by automobiles. This is where I think we need to think. 40 to 50% of the total greenhouse gases, or 40 to 50% of the total carbon footage on this earth is possible. And you will see why this is happening. Because like in our Indian culture, what we say that there is three lives to live. An individual, a past life, a present life, and a future life. What is a past life is? Past life in case of a building is merely for a building with all the materials that go into construction. You have to manufacture cement, you have to manufacture steel, you have to manufacture glass, you have to manufacture paint, you have to manufacture tires. All those things, there is an embodied energy which goes. Quite a lot of energy is going into it. And this energy, nobody feels that because you set it on it, right? And of course, even the transporting that materials. For example, we in Kerala, the embodied energy for transporting materials is very high because 90% of materials. Tamil Nadu may not be that bad because we have got a lot of things. So what is happening here? So I think we need to talk about it. And this embodied energy is the free life of the building. The present life is the electricity we have. You can see the lights are on, the air conditioning is put on here, the fans, and all the things we use for the energy used for the water consumption, the conversion of water, bad water to good water, and anything and everything you talk about is the present life of the building. And post life also is there, afterlife. You know, you said the afterlife. The afterlife also is there. What is afterlife? Afterlife is when, and so what is afterlife? Afterlife is nothing more than when we finish the use of the building, all this building components which are existing, we just throw them out, and that creates a lot of waste. And if there are a lot of plastic in the end of the whole thing, that will create a permanent cover on this our beautiful mother. This is what you are talking about. So I would like to take you to a small video now, how things are happening. I was telling you about this thing. I was telling you the possibility of if the breaks ice sort of cover.
More than 120 miles long on the east side of the Antarctic Peninsula, finally breaking off, creating a spectacular iceberg weighing more than 1 trillion metric tons, roughly the size of Delaware.
It's one of the largest icebergs in human history.
UCLA professor Aradhana Tripathi has spent her career studying Antarctic ice, traveling to the very peninsula where the ice shelf called Larsen C broke off. Professor Tripathi has seen two other big sections of the peninsula break off and dissolve. The first in 1995 and then another in 2002. She watched as this crack grew for years, caught off guard that this break happened so soon. What this latest break means is something scientists aren't yet agreed on. Antarctica, the coldest place on Earth, is a continent covered in ice, and icebergs have been breaking away from ice shelves for millions of years. But at the end of the 20th century, the peninsula was one of the fastest warming places on the planet. That warming has slowed or reversed slightly in this century.
You learn all of this just from samples of ice. You learn that from samples of ice and samples of rock.
This geochemist says the overall trends in the Arctic point to global warming.
The fact that we've had 7 out of the 12 ice shelves on Antarctica collapse in the last few decades, and this one appears to be ready to go with the breaking off of this major iceberg, that it's hard to attribute to anything else.
For now, scientists will track the new iceberg to see if and when it melts. And maps? They'll have to be redrawn for the ever-changing geography in Antarctica. Kyung La, CNN, Los Angeles.
Now I would like to you. That means if building industry take care, you could have reduced 50% of this development. 40% of this carbon emissions on this earth. And if carbon emissions could have been avoided, it would have been much better, at least 50% better than what we are now. So that is where the World Green Building Council was formed. And after that, several councils came up under that all over around the world. And 2001, Indian Green Building Council was formed at Hyderabad. And this Indian Green Building Council came up there, and IGBC created a total change, spectacular change in understanding, creating awareness about this problem that we are facing of environmental degradation. And they created the first, actually, it was actually the first building was constructed by IGBC in Hyderabad. And this IGBC building actually was constructed in a land donated by this Godrej. And a 20,000 square feet, a small building was constructed. You won't believe that building became the greenest building in the whole world that year. Whole world. Why? Because IGBC started studying from the Indian context what are the issues we are facing and how we can make it greener. That is why we have a lot of green programs, green listing now. We have. Now I would like to also tell you about how you can produce. What are the big consumers? Who are the two gobblers of our energy? I'm just trying to say you how much energy we are using every day. You can see this is a sort of a statement. As you can see here, like 43 minutes if you use our ordinary electric iron at home, it sort of consumes 1 unit, and 10 hours of your TV use 1 unit. Your ordinary bulb, incandescent bulb, if it is using 16.4 minutes, 15 hours and 40 minutes use 1 unit. Then your air conditioners use 40 minutes use 1 unit. Then you can see more. You can see your motor uses 1 unit for 1 hour and 20 minutes. Just 25 hours of 40 watts of your tube light. It uses 1 use. You have, especially the girls, you use your hair dryer. The hair dryer, 28 minutes of hair dryer using, it creates 1 unit. Then you have 40 minutes of this thing, you have got 1 unit. Then we have got a 0 watt bulb. Using 0 watt bulb has no problem. When 0 watt bulb it consumes, it's 66 hours of 24 minutes. It uses 1 unit. Then you have this, what do you call the laptop and things like it 33 hours, 20 minutes, it uses 1 unit. The fan, 22 hours, it uses 1 unit. Your home, your 2 hours of your mixie uses 1 unit. Then you can see your, what do you call, your hot plate uses 30 minutes of it uses 1 unit. Just 20 minutes of your geyser uses 1 unit. The fan, 50 hours is 1 unit. And your toaster, 1 hour 15 minutes is 1 minute, 1 unit. And your vacuum cleaner, 42 minutes of it uses 1 unit. And your heater, your water heating and boiler, that uses 60 minutes is 1 unit. So what I'm trying to say is, these are the things which you use continuously. Now, I ask my clients, every client I tell them, I show them this chart. My clients ask me, and I tell my clients, why don't you show them this? Why do you try to save energy? You go solar, you go to cost effective, 100 types of which I'm going to show you now. 100 types of cost effective equipments are there. Going to go for that, reduce the cost. And one of my clients told me, look, Mr. Ajit, I have made learning for my next 5 generations. Even after 5 generations, no close. So much of money I have got, so much of wealth I have got. You want to see the gold I have, everything they said. So I can afford it. I said, my dear friend, I agree with you. Have you asked yourself, you can afford, can our earth afford that? Only you are convinced by my talk, like today probably in that particular district in Kannur, I think these are the most energy efficient houses that they have now. I would also like to, I've already told about IGBC and things like that. Now I would like to show you some of the areas which we have. I mean, that is some of the areas I would like to take you to how and why green buildings. The green building movement in India, as I said, it started with just one green building of 20,000 square feet, which is IGBC incorporated in Hyderabad. Today you can see it is more than 5,352 green projects. 6.8 million square feet is what we have now. The green building is the answer for today's all this problem. In green through entire India constructs only green buildings, 40 to 50% of our carbon footprint can be reduced. So this is something which is probably what we should do. What is green? The pursuit of is energy efficiency. It is use of cycled and recyclable products. How much you can cycle? See, there was a time when maybe 30 years back, if somebody writes recycled, we don't have to use it. We throw it away. But today, recycled products are much more important, much more value, and there are a lot of organizations, including multinational organizations, they ensure they only use recycled products for everything. If it is a pencil, if it is paper, everything. That is what their contribution they bring to the society. What is green? It's the use of renewable energy. You can see the windmills, you can see the water efficiency ultimately lead to sustainable development. Yes, that is the word to use. Sustainable development. What you say? And sustainable development. What is sustainable development? Use our resources to meet all our needs without depriving the resources for the future generations. This is what we should. That is what we should understand most importantly. We do not own this way. We do not own this earth. We are just holding as trustees for the future. We are just trustees for this. Trustee means the future generation kept it as trust, interest. We are doing it. It is for our responsibility to see that we hand over this earth in a better position than what we got as a trustee. I just want to compare green building versus conventional building. You can see all the buildings on the right are green building. Doesn't look different. They are externally same, both look same. The building uses both are same. The differences, what is the difference, you ask me? The green buildings concern natural resources, the concern for human comfort and indoor energy. It's a very important thing of green building. You may think it's only all this. No, because I think you are aware of what happened till recently we have been using all the paints. It has got a very high content of COV, and that has VOC, volatile organic compound. Now, volatile organic compound, if you sell paint, nobody is going to buy it. IGBC brought out this awareness, and now actually green buildings have become this thing. Comfort is very important. Are you getting the sufficient sunlight? Are you getting unnecessary glare? Are you getting enough cooling even without air conditioning? All these things are very important from the point of green buildings. This thing. What are tangible? There are both tangible and intangible. What are the tangible? Because reduce operating costs, because all the equipment that you use are of less energy. Optimizing life cycle, you can optimize the life cycle. Economic performances can be done, and also energy saving. 50% has been seen. I think lately it is even more. So a lot of air conditioning companies have come out with fantastic energy-friendly air conditioning systems. Because most of the air conditioning energy, using is basically which is used by air conditioning. Water saving is 20 to 30%, and also now, because of in the beginning when we constructed the first green building in India, all these many products that we brought from abroad. Today, because of great demand for green products have become very cheap, probably some ways cheaper than non-green products. There are benefits which are experienced in green buildings. I would like to tell you the things which are saying. First, the 3 platinum buildings, you can see that 3 platinum buildings, you can see 1,75,000 square feet. If normal building had a 48 kWh, the present building with the green is only 40%. So I don't go to far this because we need to push much more. So what are the benefits in green building? You will see the benefits in green building. These annual total benefits of certified products is about 8 million tons, and in each of the green buildings, the carbon dioxide reduction, energy saving is 10 million, water saving is 30 million KL, and construction waste diverted from landfills 3 lakh tons. So these are some of the correct. This is talking about 1 million square feet of building is what I'm talking about. Then you can see intangible benefits which you cannot know. The environment benefit, reduce impact on the environment, health and safety benefits, and improve the productivity of it. These are all very important things from a green building. The green building costs more. Earlier when it was started, it was about 8 to 12% more. Now, if at all, sometimes I say as an architect, even without spending a single pile, only by designing, I think that for that purpose you need to think differently. You need to think out of box. and come out with a green architecture assets without any outside investment. You can do it with zero investment. If at all you need to invest for
Perfect.
okay, it will cost you maybe under 2%, but this nowadays we have found the entire amount can be actually taken back in 2 to 3 years. What green building did differently? Some of the items we show in green buildings are waterless, airless, root zone treatment of systems, night pipes that is behind, interiors is 20-25 feet behind inside the building. Where you need light, you can bring a light pipe. It brings you almost 50-60% of the sunlight to the room. There is widespread of use of fire cloths, insulated walls, roof glazing, low-emitting interiors, etc. Then resource reuse. As I said, we reuse. Try to reuse many of these materials which are brought now. And innovative emerging green building materials and technologies are choice of placing the building. That's what I said earlier. Just by design input itself, you can make it into green building. What are the design inputs? Most importantly, we are all sitting on the northern side of the hemisphere. It is different in places like Australia where it sits on the southern hemisphere. When you sit on the northern hemisphere, you have to understand very importantly that the solar thing, the sun which goes through the equator, that sun which goes through the equator, our idea is to avoid, especially places like Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra and all these places, which are generally very hot places. We need to ensure that the buildings openings are not towards south. If you put it towards south, the entire sunlight, not sunlight alone, the heat, accompanying heat will get to the building. So we need to have something like a northeast direction or the west direction for building. Then shading devices. 80 to 90% of the green building effect can be created by shading. We call it as envelope. Envelopes the building, as architects, envelope. So shading of the buildings is so very important. And then another thing is high performance envelope, which I was talking about. You can see a double, rat bond and all these things you can see here. And these sort of things which are trying to create so that there is no heat transmission in the building. I'll show you a building which we have designed after 2 years, where we had reduced to about 60-40% just only because of design concepts. Then the red brick, I have written there U value and all this is around. When you go to YouTube, you can read detail and find out. Then we are given the daylighting. I was talking about daylighting, maximum light to come into the building. But we don't have to use our artificial light in the daytime at least. Then similarly, I was telling you about the sun pipe. The sun pipe is here. You can see this is the sun pipe I was talking to you about. And this is again the light which you can, from there you can capture the sunlight. This is what you see, the sunlight. That is what we call as the, you will look, if you think, you look, and you will think it's artificial light. No, it's a sunlight directly coming in. And similarly, about the type of energy lighting fixtures are there. You see the T5 and T3 and all those things are there. The lower the T5 comes, like this, more energy efficient. Then you can see about there are about our energy efficient B, that is Europe energy efficient. Have got star rating for air conditioners, refrigerators, projectors, LCD, everything. So if it is 3 stars and above, up to 5 stars you can get. You are going to receive a lot of energy in your building. Similarly, there are 30% radiant cooling technologies there, where you have the pipes, water pipes, pillar pipes going to the slab, so that the heat from the slab do not come below that. And then you have what we call as advantage, the wind. This thing is a very important thing, wind tower. In fact, all the olden days, you see all the buildings have wind tower. Because the wind tower is pretty surprised. When you go stand inside, you will see that air is flowing, just like you are standing on a seashore. That is because of the only thing is it has to be located in places where you have maximum air coming in. Then similar renewable energy, as I said about solar panels, then the wind, using energy, and very important thing lately it has come in what we call as a building integrated photovoltaic. Building integrated photovoltaic is something the whole roof. Even without putting a separate collector, it becomes a photovoltaic thing. You can collect energy and give it to the entire building. And even the walls, even the windows, everything can be used with building integrated photovoltaic. It is a fantastic one of the latest innovations we have. Then we have vegetable garden over roof. Why vegetable garden? Not only that you can found the vegetable for your building or your house, but apart from that, it will keep it cool. So that is another thing to do. Then we have what we call as retaining natural vegetation in the building around the area. Then we have what we call as the biowall. Biowall, I'm sure that all of us know, it's quite common now. All over the world, it has become quite common. Earlier, just 3 years back only, this concept was brought in the IGBC. Now it has become very common, and it is something you can again keep the interior of your building cool. And then we have water. I was talking about water first. All you have to do is, you can get what we call the aerators and fixed aerators. There are different types of aerators are there, like small and big in saving. And these aerators will reduce your water consumption to much more area per minute. Then you have what we call rainwater harvesting, something which, of course, the municipalities have already made it compulsory. There is something where we are not allowing the water from the rain to flow away, to run away water. So that is saved, so it does not go into it goes down your land, so that water is always there below. And similarly, we have the rainwater harvesting, different types. Then you have what we call as phytoremediation, what we call as root zone method. It's a very fantastic new concept. It's not new, it's been there for a few years now, where all the dirt, water, dirty water, wastewater can be let through under this garden. And because of this, unlike other many of these things, these phytoplankton plants, they sort of breathe through the roots. Yeah. So there's also now latest what we call green flow. Now there are about close to 1,000 green what we call the products are there which are approved by the green flow. You can see the products which are almost 1,000 products are there. So that means the architect can easily go and ask for a green flow certified product. So you can be sure it has got much lesser energy adding on to that. And what is a green building? A green building creates a delight when entered, serenity and health when occupied, and regret when departed. It's a basic concept about green building. I would also like to say some of the green buildings which have been inaugurated by great people, municipality, and some other programs like that. I would also like to show you Let Us Go Green. Now I would like to show you about green. I think I don't have much time, so I'll rush through. What is I was telling you about what is zero energy. Zero energy, nothing else other than that entire energy that is required for the building. Energy for the light, energy for the fan, energy for the air conditioning, energy for anything and everything is produced by the building. There are so many methods by this energy can be produced by the building. Now the latest watchword is built only so much that building can produce energy by itself. What I'm saying is, if 10,000 square feet you want to build, to ensure that 10,000 square feet has enough solar panels, enough windmills if possible like that, off the site. That is, you can have an agreement with somewhere else outside, maybe 300 kilometers away, for providing energy to this, like where the windmills are, then things that the building you should build is only, that means 100% building should be. Now you can see here what are the points you can do. That is roof insulation, wall insulation, water management system, bioclimate architecture, photovoltaic systems on the top. I'm talking about heat pumps, double glazing windows, all LED lighting. All this adds to take you to everything. Not that. Not just the one before that. Yeah.
What is a zero-energy building? Most buildings today use a lot of energy to keep the lights on, cool the air, heat water, and power personal devices. Even installing solar systems will not significantly counter the heavy energy load. There are, however, some buildings that strike a balance or even tip the scales the other way. These are called zero-energy buildings. They manage this feat by being extremely energy efficient, saving 50 to 70% more energy than typical buildings. In these ultra-high performance buildings, the amount of energy used can be completely offset by renewable energy produced on or around the building. When conditions are not suitable for energy generation, the building will draw energy from the electrical grid to meet its needs. When conditions improve, the on-site renewable energy systems will cover the building's energy need and send excess energy back into the grid to make up the balance. Over the course of a year, the building gives back as much energy as it takes. When zero energy concepts are applied to groups of buildings, the benefits are shared and multiplied within that zero energy community. These buildings are also more comfortable, more reliable, affordable to build and operate, and better for the environment. While these might seem like buildings of the future, new technologies are constantly emerging that make zero energy easier and easier to achieve today. In fact, there are already hundreds of zero energy buildings across the U.S. in many different climates. By becoming ultra efficient and giving back as much energy as they consume, zero energy buildings will play an important part in creating a more competitive, energy secure future.
Thank you. Now, I would like to say about Zero Plus building, Zero Energy Plus. In Zero Energy Plus building, what you see, you are able to give back energy to the society. That is, your building has sufficient energy to give back to the society. I think now I would not like to take, I had some news of another project of ours, which I had some sections which I don't want to take. Can you play the last video? I'll show you a video wherein we have done so many applications to make it into almost a zero energy building. It was in a very distant site. Please go ahead.
headquarters of CDAC at Technopark Trivandrum was completed in the year June 2012. This project has been created as a true green building, keeping in mind, most importantly, non-disturbance of the environment, located in a very steep terrain, just like most of the properties inside the Technopark. For Ajit Associates, it was indeed a challenge rather than just leveling the ground like most of the other sites inside the Technopark. Of course, it was a very difficult task to construct a 7-storied in a slope, that too in an economic manner. But our engineers achieved it with great difficulties. It was truly a marriage of reinforced cement concrete with structural steel components. It was more like sculpturing, and we created a functional sculpture.
Yes. Dear friends, I'm just closing with on this thing. What I would like to say is, what you saw in that video is completely green. You can see a lot of pergolas. You can see, you won't believe that entire that 7-storied atrium, which you can see that 7-storied atrium actually is not air conditioned, but without air condition, when the external ambient temperature is 54 degrees, we could reach 26 degrees inside. That is because of the movement of air, proper movement of air, etc. And all the backside of the block, you see, which is facing west and south, that we are given corridors there, you can see, and that corridor shaded the building. The entire building, instead of the total requirement, otherwise the 600 tons of air conditioning, you could achieve it 350 tons of air conditioning. So these are things which can be done, and I also showed you about what is synchronizing. I would like to close this thing by, friends, let us all join together and be the guardian angels to this incoming generation, because this world does not belong to us. We are just discussed this for the coming generation. I would like to once again thank SRM University for giving this opportunity to talk about green, talk about zero, and talk about how to go about zero plus. And I think I'm sure that a lot of people will be watching this, and happy that this also is in the YouTube. And a lot of people will understand that the entire architects. In fact, today if you see, everybody is talking about only green and green and green. These are basic things everybody is talking about. That all the architects take to the green so that we can make a greener environment by in few years time to come. Thank you very much. Thank you, SRM. Thank you, Ravi, for being with us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your efforts and time that you took to share your thoughts and knowledge with us. Thank you so much. Thank you once again. It was indeed an eye-opening session. It was insightful.